Before you say travel is too expensive, watch this. I've cracked the code on affordable global adventures. In this guide, I'm gonna give you 7 key points on how you can travel internationally on a budget. I am not the richest person in the world, not by far, but I have traveled to 7 or 8 countries within the past year, and I picked up a lot of tips and tricks along the way that has allowed me to save money and continue to travel and continue to see the places I want to see in the world. I'm going to be going to Costa Rica in a few weeks. So I wanted to make this video because I know there's a lot of people out there that want to travel, that, you know, they want to see the world, they want to experience different cultures, but maybe they just don't feel like they have enough. Maybe they feel like they have to save up thousands and thousands of dollars. And to be honest, that's not always true. There are places you can go. There are ways that you can do it on a budget. And I'm gonna give you, like I said, 7 key points on how you can do that. So let's get right into it. Number 1 is going to be traveling off peak. And by traveling off peak, I mean going to a place during the times of the year when it is less busy than others. You're going to get better rates on flights, hotels, attractions, and any types of events you want to do when you're going to this place. Now, usually what I do is I type in Google or whatever search engine that I use. I type in what's the best time of the year to go to, insert your destination here, and then usually by doing that, the search engine will tell you when's the busy times, when's the rainy season, what times of the year is it more hot, what time of the year is it more cold. And by knowing this, and also by knowing the culture of the place that you're going, you're going to be able to tell when they have holidays, when a lot of people are going to be going there, and you'll be able to find exactly what time of the year is going to be best for you to go if you're trying to save money when it comes to traveling. The next one is going to be budget airlines and flights. Now, booking far in advance is one of the best ways to get a lower rate on your flight, but sometimes booking last minute can also get you a decent rate. The internet also has a lot of flight comparison tools that you can use. A lot of them are free tools. And also, you usually find cheaper rates when you're booking flights that are during the weekdays, especially when it comes to like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You'll usually see a lot of better deals booking on those days and also flying out on those days. Number 3, now we have accommodation hacks. You don't always have to stay in the fanciest hotel. There are hostels out there. You can also, if you have connected with somebody that lives in that place, you can couch surf, you can stay with them for a while, or you can get into house sitting. A lot of people travel and see the world just by house sitting. There are a lot of wealthy people that have homes in different places. And you know, a lot of times they want people actually there at their homes, taking care of their homes, or, you know, just making sure that their home is being looked after while they're not there. Also, I find Airbnb to be a lot more affordable when it comes to overseas traveling. Maybe not so much in the United States, but when it comes to going overseas in different countries, you'll get a lot of times a better bang for your buck staying in an Airbnb. Also, a huge hack is to not stay in the tourist areas. Staying in the tourist areas, your prices are going to be way higher than staying in somewhere that's more so a local area. Now with this, there can be certain dangers. That's why tourist areas are tourist areas for a reason. You just need to do your research, know where you're going, and look up the best neighborhoods that they have in that place, because a lot of times you can get an Airbnb in a nice neighborhood. It just won't be a tourist area. So when you go outside, it'll be more so the local vibes, but you won't have to worry about getting robbed. Number 4, local transportation. Now, this is something you have to be careful with because a lot of times there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of finesse artists out there in these countries. When as soon as you get off the airport, there are going to be people trying to get you to book private rides. There are going to be taxis trying to get you to hop in without telling you the price that you're going to pay at first. So you got to be careful going to these places. Usually, I don't really want to go anywhere without picking up at least a little bit of the language so I can understand what's going on and I can communicate with the people that I'm getting services from. So you always want to do your research on the local transportation systems. Sometimes they don't have Uber. I know Uber is a great thing when you go overseas in a country that does use Uber because it makes it easier for you. But even then, a lot of these countries have their own apps that will sometimes even be cheaper than Uber, or maybe they don't use Uber at all and they have their own app for rideshare programs. And also do your research on the buses and the trains and the prices that you can pay, because a lot of times that will save you a lot of money. Sometimes in these countries, it's also good to get a rental car, but sometimes it's not, because a lot of times if you go to certain countries, the driving is just crazy. People all over the road, very easy to get into an accident. So a lot of times it's just not worth driving, or maybe just the parking situation or the traffic situation is just not worth you getting a rental car and trying to move around like that. So do your research on the local transportation systems. Next, we have eating on a budget. Eating on a budget will save you so much money when traveling. So if you get an Airbnb or hotel that has space for you to cook, that is a definite plus, because you're going to be saving a lot of more money making your own food than going out and buying food. Also, avoid the tourist traps. You got to understand, if you're staying in a hotel or an accommodation that's in a tourist area, everything around it and surrounding it is going to have an inflated price, because they know that tourists are going to be here, and usually people eat by proximity. So if it's a restaurant right outside your hotel, maybe even at your hotel, they're going to be charging you a lot more than that restaurant that's in the local area. Also, try the local markets, try the street food, and tap in with the locals so you can find out where the best food is and where the best deals are on food. Next, we have free and low cost activities, man. Free and low cost activities are so important when traveling, because it's going to save you a lot of money and you can have fun. There's always going to be free walking tours, museum days, parks, and natural attractions when it comes to beaches or hiking areas, mountain views and things like that. When you're traveling, always go for those type of things and do your research. Get online, see if you can find like city passes that allow you to get into certain areas. Or if you are planning on booking excursions, it's always best to book in advance so you can get a good deal, because a lot of times you get to the area, you're gonna have bunch of people coming into your ear trying to tell you, oh, book this excursion, book this excursion. And usually if you pre-booked it or you got some type of package deal, you're gonna get a better deal overall. Now, number 7 is going to be currency and money management. Now, this is going to be the most important one, because you don't want to be getting finessed and getting robbed for your money when it comes to trying to exchange currencies in certain places, right? A lot of times you'll get right off the airport, and people you get off the plane, you get into the airport, people rushing up to you, trying to get you to buy stuff, trying to get you to exchange your money. And a lot of times it's just good to take a step back and, hopefully you've done your research and watched other people, because anywhere you go, people have arrival videos and they'll show you exactly what they did and how to do. So hopefully you've done your research, but if not, take a step back and usually go for the local ATM. Me personally, I like to use my Charles Schwab card because they give refunds on all ATM fees, no matter where you're at in the world. So I do like the Charles Schwab Investors Checking Account, because when it comes to people on the streets or just going up to a currency exchange place, they're gonna give you a rate that's unfair, and they're gonna probably try to rob you if they can and take a little bit extra off the top of your money. Also, credit cards. Credit cards are so important when it comes to having a credit card with no foreign transaction fees. And also, just when it comes to your money management and when it comes to booking your flight, credit card points are a great way. We all spend money on it daily. I'm not one of those persons that say get 10, 20 credit cards, but maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 that, they all have a certain purpose. You're getting points back for certain things, and you can use those points when it comes to booking your flights and booking your accommodations, and you can be saving money just off using the money that you get back from spending on a regular daily basis. Now, my bonus is gonna be your cell phone, man. Your cell phone, like from experience, I have T-Mobile. I have T-Mobile. We usually get 5 gigabytes free when we go to most countries. After that, you do have to pay depending on what type of plan you have, or you just add it onto your plan. Like you might get a 10-day pass or something like that for your Wi-Fi and your data. Me personally, when I go to these countries, I turn my notifications off except for what is necessary. So I'm not just running up a bunch of data when I want to get on YouTube or social media, which you probably won't do too much when you're traveling. I usually just wait till I'm on Wi-Fi or back in my hotel or Airbnb. Now, I've traveled with people that have not taken the time to understand and find out what their cell phone provider plan is. And, you know, they end up in bad situations. I've traveled with somebody, they get to the airport, they get on the airport Wi-Fi, but they got Boost Mobile, so they can't do anything else with their phone the whole time while they're traveling, and they're having to use other people's phones, use people's hotspots, trying to find Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But if you do have one of those cell phone providers that don't have any type of international plan, most of these countries in the airport will have a place where you can just buy a SIM card there. So do your research on that also, because a lot of times that's going to be cheaper than your roaming charges anyway. Just buying a local SIM card, using the data off that, it's going to allow you to use your same phone number and all that good stuff. So if you do that, you'll be saving a lot more money than someone that's just out there catching a bunch of roaming charges. So I hope this video provided some value for all my budget travelers. It's best to always, like I said, do your research, remain flexible if you are traveling on a budget, and have an open mind so you can truly experience the places that you want to go and do the things that you want to do all on a budget.
What you cooking?
Yeah, it ain't no room for no ego. Trying my brother, I'm stepping beside him, we locked, I'm snitching, he lay low. 100 my family, rockin' with LNG, everything legal, ain't riding with felon. Nigga, is my witness, I know they ain't felon. Ain't trippin' on beef, we just stack up the salary. But we don't play them games, I thought I told you once. Lil' bro still gon' walk down, put a hole in some. Better not talk too loud, he know he owe us some. Cause too much attention, we exposing them. Me and all my 10 years done dodged all that whole shit. Them niggas, they done tried and filled the fuck up our motion. Try to take away my nigga from his son, but we ain't going. Hell, them niggas gotta be high with all that smoke they been blowing. How you tough and tellin', lucky bro ain't booked your melon.